Islands used to be wonders of the world in years past, and today they still are. Some of the best tourist locations on the planet are islands from the eastern Pacific all the way to the Atlantic coasts, but there are islands dotting the length and breadth of the globe. But what if we told you that some of the islands you see and hear of today will be seen and heard of no more? You'll be shell-shocked, right? Well, that is the case, and ecologists are sounding the alarm now about the impact of global warming caused by human activity. The newest alarm causing global panic is that some of our most cherished islands will disappear by 2100 if water levels continue to rise like they are now. This makes for a gloomy future, but yet the signs are there. Here are 10 islands that will disappear by 2100 if great care is not taken to protect our planet. Number 10. Micronesia. Micronesia is an island with a large population of 112,000 people. This great island with a rich culture is at risk of going underwater. Unfortunately, this risk has been documented for more than 2 decades now, but next to nothing has been done to salvage the situation. Starting from 1993, Micronesia had seen the water levels around it rise by 3.1 millimeters per year. The island, which consists of 4 islands, namely Pohnpei, Kosrae, CHUUK and Yap, are losing landmass faster than most environmental experts could have imagined. With sea levels rising sometimes by as much as 10 millimeters per year, this island nation has now become a hotspot for soil erosion, coast floods and storm surges. Experts cannot say for sure how much time Micronesia has, but some believe it has a maximum timeline of 80 years left. If the situation does not change, this island might be lost forever. Number 9. SHISHMAREF, Alaska. SHISHMAREF may have a small population of less than 1,000 people, but it remains a treasured island for the people of Alaska. The island, located near the Bering Strait, is going under as of the time of making this video. So bad was the situation that in 2016, natives of the island decided to relocate to other regions before the melting ice went underwater. This island has become the ground zero for climate change campaigners who use SHISHMAREF as a perfect example of what may befall the world if we don't curb global pollution. The state government provided about $8 million worth of funding to help the natives with the relocation, but this amount has proved insufficient as close to $200 million is required to facilitate a complete evacuation. With ice already melting in the Arctic, SHISHMAREF may be one of the first islands to disappear before others. At 8. Marshall Islands. The Marshall Islands is one of the most popular islands in the world, but this lovely island is not immune to the effects of global warming. The islands are basically a chain of volcanic islands and coral atolls linked together in the Pacific Ocean. Residents have either built artificial islands to connect the natural ones or lived in existing ones. However, life took a turn for the worse when the island began to sink. With rising sea levels, some experts believe that the island may sink completely by 2046, judging by the constant rise in water levels. The effect of losing one of the planet's foremost islands is giving environmentalists a cause for concern. At 7. TUVALU. Located in the Pacific region, this small chain of islands has a population of close to 12,000 people. But if things do not change for the better, Tuvalu's residents may have to seek permanent residency elsewhere because their island is sinking, and sinking fast. Tuvalu is one of the most isolated islands in the world, which makes it the perfect spot for globetrotters looking for the perfect spot far away from civilization. However, for 25 years, climate experts have raised the alarm that rising sea levels was threatening the island on every side. There are also reports that even if the island does not sink, the erosion and flooding caused by the rising sea level may render it uninhabitable for residents and tourists in the coming years. Already, parts of the island are no longer conducive for agriculture because of soil poisoning caused by inflow of seawater. At 6. Maldives. The island of Maldives may be one of the most famous islands in the world, but it is also one of the most susceptible islands to rising sea levels too. According to a report released by the United Nations, most of the landmass is less than a meter above sea level, which is a dangerous trend. Maldives is located in the Indian Ocean, and the local economy thrives on tourism. The southern part of the island attracts the highest number of tourists every year, but in the last few years, the negative impact of climate change has affected the industry to a significant degree. This has affected the quality of life of the island's 515,000 people, which is quite sad. As we speak, more than half of the island has been exposed to the harmful effects of beach erosion, with the area poisoned by excessive salt invasion. Next up at number 5, Palau. Fifth on our list of islands that may disappear by the year 2100 is the island of Palau. Palau currently has a population of over 18,000, and it is not a single island but a concentration of more than 700 islands in the Pacific Ocean. Since 1993, the records have shown that the water level has been rising by 0.35 inches every year, which is 3 times more than the global average. This accelerated rate of ocean surge has only gotten worse. Now, experts are predicting that the rise will increase up to about 13.8 inches every year by 2050, depending on greenhouse emissions. At this rate, Palau may not even survive the 2100 date experts are predicting. At 4, Fiji. Another island in danger of going underwater is Fiji. Fiji has a very large population of close to 1 million inhabitants and is a popular tourist destination in the southern Pacific Ocean. This island is a conglomeration of more than 300 islands that form a colony, and today many of them are at the mercy of the ocean. Some of the islands are exposed to tropical cyclones, flooding, erosions, and seasonal water level rises. This trend has continued for more than 2 decades, causing many locals to abandon their villages for higher grounds as the water gradually eats away their dwellings. Number 3, Seychelles. Seychelles is the dream of many, but it is also at risk of disappearing before our very eyes. Comprising 115 individual islands, this popular tourist destination has seen an erosion of some of its luxury beaches. With water levels rising at 39 inches per annum, we may see about 70% of the islands lost to the Indian Ocean based on current trends. With a population of under 100,000 people, the threat of cyclones and extreme storms are also other issues the locals have to deal with. Floods have become a common experience due to weather changes. In fact, the threat global warming poses to the Seychelles has made the call for conservation efforts more pronounced. At 2, Solomon Islands. The South Pacific islands of Solomon are already experiencing the disaster caused by ocean surges. Not too long ago, it was reported that the island has also already lost 5 of its coral reef islands as a result of rising sea levels and soil erosion. These disasters were caused by climate change, and all 6 islands are affected. The Environment Research Letters also pointed out that the 0.4 inches rise annually will force many of its inhabitants to abandon their homes as the situation gets worse. And at 1, Torres Strait Islands. Last but not least of the islands that may go down under in 2100 is Torres, Strait Islands close to the Australian mainland. The ocean has been rising around the edges at a rate of 8 millimeters per year. The local population of over 4,000 have also had to deal with rising levels of acidic carbon dioxide, which has caused the erosion to get even worse. The worsening situation has been declared an emergency by the local government. Islands are great tourist destinations, but sadly, these 10 islands reviewed in this video are at risk of going under in the next 8 decades if the harmful effects of global warming are not checked. The thought of having our favourite islands taken from us by rising tides is disheartening, to say the least. But we hope that the situation will force world governments to take the need for environmental conservation more seriously. So this is all for today. Thanks for watching this video. If you like this video, do like, subscribe, and don't forget to give comments and provide us with your valuable feedback. See you in the next video, and until then, stay tuned.